and hopefully demonstrate some of the equipment we've got out here for you. Our squad was started in 1971, and as you can see here, I think we've probably come a long way from what they were able to use back in 71 to what we have here today. On our squad today, we have 8 members. We have 3 full-time members, to include Mike and myself, and 5 other part-time people on our department. The part-time people on a normal basis just do something else in the department. We have 4 patrol officers and an investigator. They're bomb techs. They've gone to all the same schools as we have. They train with us, and then they come out on calls as we need them to. As a squad, we respond to about, on average, 200 calls a year for service. That does seem like a lot. The majority of them are in the metropolitan area here of Minneapolis. We do the suburbs, and we also go out around the state where we're needed as well. And it seems like quite a few calls, but in that amount we go out on actual explosive devices, we go out on military ordnance, we do suspicious items and packages, we do suspicious powders or unknown powders, we do explosive reactive chemicals, we do meth labs in our city, we support our SWAT team, and we also do dignitary protection. When we're not doing that, we also investigate bomb threats or any other explosions in the city. We maintain all of our equipment, we give training, and we also go to training as well. I think right now to date, we've had about 162 calls for service, so we're pretty much right on par to do what we usually do, about 200 or so, probably a little bit more this year. So what we're going to do now is just walk you through some of our equipment, and in doing so, kind of show you how we would respond to a call. The majority of calls that we respond to are for a suspicious item or package here in Minneapolis, and it's probably going to be anything you might see, like a box, a suitcase, you know, a backpack, anything that might be left in an area that might be suspicious to somebody. It could be at a bus stop, it could be at a bank, it could be on a street corner, or it could be right here in front of the Crystal Court. And it could be something like a cooler right here. So we're going to put the cooler out there, and actually, if we had a call for that, and we were to come and see that right there, what we could do is actually pick that up with the robot and move it from one spot to the other. Mike, you want to?
Oh. It's already armed, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What we could do is pick that up and move it from one spot to the other, possibly take it from here and move it over into our truck over there, and then take it from this location out to another spot away from people and deal with it. One of the issues with actually moving a container is that, number one, it might be a big, large, say a suitcase, a big box. It might be something that actually the robot can't pick up and move from one spot to another. So that's the first reason we might not automatically pick the object up, which is the cooler right there. The second reason we might not pick it up is we really don't know what is inside the cooler and how it functions. Obviously, if it's somebody's lunch, we don't care about that. But if it's actually an explosive device, by picking that object up and moving it from one spot to the other could actually function the device. And as an example to that, we kind of bring this little package along here. And this looks like a pretty safe, otherwise toolbox, I guess you would call it. I guess it's actually a fishing tackle box. But we've made this into an inert explosive device to show you folks what can happen if you were to pick a device up and move it. So when you hear a little buzzer goes off, it actually indicates that it blew up. So by picking this up and tilting it, you can actually hear that it goes off. On the other hand, if you were to open it,
I gotta fucking pick this up.
same thing occurs. And you can see inside that we've mocked up a couple sticks of dynamite. So that alone is the reason that we don't want to actually move anything without finding out what might be inside of it first. So the first thing we would do with that cooler is, without moving it, take a picture of what is inside of it with an X-ray machine. What we'd do is have to actually physically go up to it wearing this bomb suit right here. And if there's anybody out there that would care to come up for to volunteer to be involved in our demo, come on up. You're going to be our volunteer bomb technician, all right? You want to take off your coat. We'll put this on you. See what you think. This is, it's made of level 3 Kevlar. We're not going to do the pants today, but the whole ensemble weighs about 75 pounds. It's got steel plates, which covers the front. And we'll also put a helmet on them as well. Pretty much takes 2 people sometimes to put it on. How you feel? Good? Okay. Now keep in mind that you would also have pants on. We're going to put the helmet on him. And we're just going to have him move around a little bit with it on, see what he thinks, maybe bend down a little bit. We'll give him something to carry. And actually, when we go up to an object, we're actually carrying 2 pieces of equipment. So we're going to put this in one hand. We're going to put this in another. You ready for the visor to go down? Mm-hmm. And we'll just have you just walk, do a loop around. Get a feeling for it. About as long as you can be in the suit in the summertime is 20 to 30 minutes. And you have to consider that he's moving in a small area here. We're usually back at least 100 yards, have to go down range with this equipment, place it. If you just want to put those 2 pieces of equipment down right there. Go ahead. Yep. Perfect. How'd you feel about bending down? A little difficult? Okay. Let's go over here. We'll get you out of the suit. And let's give our volunteer a hand. So what he would actually do is bring this X-ray screen up to the package, place it behind the package like so without really touching it. And then he's going to take this X-ray generator. We're not going to turn it on today because it does send out a low dose amount of radiation that captures on the back of that screen, actually goes through the package. It'll be captured on this screen. Then we come back, pick this up, come back to the safe area, and in our trucks we've got what's called a Logos digital X-ray system. And we're able to come up with basically a picture of what is inside that cooler without moving it. For all you folks that have ever been to the doctor and gotten an X-ray, either dentist or otherwise, of a broken bone, and the doc comes in and shows you what the X-ray looks like, that's basically exactly what we're seeing on the picture that gets developed from our Logos X-ray. It's a digital X-ray. It comes up on a laptop computer, and it actually looks like this. Now, obviously, when you look at it on the digital X-ray, it doesn't have everything nice and marked for you, like the switch and the battery and everything like that. We actually put those on there so that you guys could see what the things are in the makeup of the cooler. Don't let those disappear either, by the way. So after we've taken a picture of it, obviously if we see it's somebody's lunch, we feel pretty good about walking back up to it, probably at that time not even with the bomb suit, opening it up and giving the lunch back or whatever happens to be in it. If we see any one of the items that are currently in that X-ray, like a switch, any wiring, a power source, we're going to actually apply what we call a render safe tool to that item. And we've got a number of different tools that we can apply. We've got one with us right now, and that's called a pan disruptor. And it's an acronym for a percussion actuated neutralizer. Pretty fancy. But that fires solid slugs, or it will fire water. And what we use most often is actually a barrel full of water. We'll load the barrel full of water. It'll take a shotgun type shell in the breech, and then we can fire it from a remote distance. We'll have it hooked up to a hard wire right here, like this non-electric shock tube. It'll go right into the breech, and we can shoot that from a safe area as far back as we want. And the purpose of it is to send out the high velocity jet of water. It'll break open that cooler and hopefully disrupt the explosive device on the inside without setting it off, actually. And then we can go up to it again, make sure it's done its job, and hopefully that ends it. And in a second here, you'll see Mike be able to snap off a piece of it. And what this tube is a very minute amount of explosive that runs all the way through the tube. It gets initiated by a 9-volt battery in this little initiator that we have, and if it's dark, it travels about 6,000 feet per second, somewhere in there, and you can actually see the spark travel down the line until it hits that, and then the water will come out. It'll be a little snap. Maybe not. You could see the spark come out, but it didn't do it like it's supposed to. Maybe we can get her going here in a minute. But that really is somewhat of the procedure that we do for a suspicious item or package. Is there any quick questions before we wrap it up? Good. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thanks. Yes, we'll be down here by our bomb truck if anybody has any specific questions. Thank you very much.